Hello everyone, this is your friend Shinobi Nexus 2.0 and we are back in new fanfic. What if Kakashi fell in love with the Bloodblade Princess Part 1? Don't own Naruto series or any of its characters. Only OCs are mine. Please do not use without permission. Thoughts Justice, Demon Kaibui, Prologue. Most people in the East often forgot that there were other places to God besides the West. They simply had too much to handle at the moment. So when the lands to the south were overlooked gore-hidden villages, other things began to move there. Vampires, liches, werewolf, and other vicious creatures such as these tormented the people there. Darkness was a time of fear and a time of mourning. Hundreds were slaughtered for food and pleasure. The leader of the night was called Moran. He killed mercilessly for pleasure. He sacrificed lives for power. Until one day, a unified front of the small kingdoms decided that a new village would be the bright star of the united front, Velos. Velos would have a consul to rule over the kingdoms as well as any others who joined. A council of representatives would be sent. The consul would pick the best to protect the city and it was called the consul's guard. Moran decided to destroy the city before it began. He attacked with his army. The united army was pushed back until a champion of men emerged. His golden blade sluiced 4 men at one blow. Moran challenged this man, Damas, to a winner-take-all duel. Damas accepted with the rule that his wife, Teresa, place a barrier around the arena. Moran agreed because he knew he could defeat Damas in battle. Pulling his own black blade they fought for 4 days and nights until Moran's Deathwalker blade shattered. Moran then tried to destroy the barrier as Damas delivered the deadly blow. All return. Not land is safe. Moran wheezed as his body vanished. Damas was called King of Warriors. He simply walked away from the arena to his family. Teresa, are you ready to go home? Yes. Dear, what of Rania? Has she decided to stay here? Yes. She has decided to join Galen's consul guard. He wants her to lead them. Besides, I believe one of the representative's sons has befriended her. Danik Sanos. Poor boy is always sick. Rania's made friends with his wife too. Good. Damas said. He looked over the fledgling city with purpose in his eyes. He missed his sister Miko. She'd married a Hokage of a hidden village some years earlier. His cousin had just had a child. Named Kushina. A redhead to boot. Miko sent messages whenever possible to Damas. Damas. I miss Miko. True, we had different moms and she is the wielder of the Kyuubi, but I still miss her. I know, darling. I miss Arashi and Tuma as well. They had a Litka boy named Minato. I suppose chances are we'll never see them again with wars going on. Tara said softly. She looked to the left to see a girl of 16 coming towards them. She was pale-skinned with black-red tinted hair and blue eyes. Mother, has father told you my decision? Yes, little one. Your destiny is here. We are returning to the wilds now. We'll see you soon. Make us proud. Do you think that Aunt Miko and Uncle Arashi will come here? Rania asked. If not, them maybe a child of theirs. Rania started but paused. Tara looked to the northeast. Where the horizon began was a large plume of smoke. Tara's eyes widened. War. The second Shinobi War has begun. I don't think we'll see either again. We must prepare for home, Tara. I feel the same way as you, but the wilds need us too. Rania is staying here to quell the darkness of Kopis. We may see the young ones again, but I don't think that you'll see Miko or you'll see Arashi again. We must maintain peace here. Damas spoke softly. Rania stood quiet, her blood-red clothes ruffling in the wind. Shed fought alongside the army of Velos to turn the tide. She didn't rely on her fighting skills only but was a master tactician. She also possessed the ability of the Bloodblade. 2 long blades with tassels on the hilt. The sharpened edges resembled flickering flames and when in use the dull in cause hallucinations of death. She often tried not use them unless fighting dark creatures. The blades were a mutation of both her parents' lines. She'd mastered over 6 different sword styles in 16 years and 5 hand-to-hand styles. But what made her truly dangerous is her ability to think and react quickly to situations. Rania, we'll see you before we leave. Galen is calling a meeting of the Council de Creme. You need to be there. Yes. Father, only prayer can help now. I would go, but with us trying to repair lives, I would abandoning those who need me. Rania said, turning towards a small gathering of buildings. Soon all those who died in this war will be honored and I'll be able to help others like me. Little did Rania know, her father's words would be true and she would part a part in a very lazy Jonin's life. After the Third Shinobi War, I don't see why I have to go here. I'm fine, Sensei, a masked boy said. An older man walked beside him. His spiky blonde hair and blue shining in the southern breeze. Kakashi, you lost Rin and Obito. You need to see someone who can help. I've met someone who can help because they have been through similar life choices as you. I just hope they remember I'm going to arrive today. Minato said. Kakashi's visible eye looked doubtful until they came to a huge wall and gate. 2 booths on either side allowed for coming and going easily. Kakashi was stunned. This is bigger than Konoha's wall and gate. Where are we? I didn't know that there too is a hidden village here, Sensei. This is not a hidden village. Kakashi, you cannot tell anyone we came here. No one in the hidden villages must know about this place. I want your Nindo promise on this. Minato said seriously. Why? Surely an alliance would help. Kashi, someone like Danzo would try to usurp the power here. He wouldn't stop at destroying this city. Please, your promise. I give my word that no one besides thighs you see worthy will know of this place. Kakashi said seriously. Okay. Kakashi, welcome to Velos the Cody from the ashes. This is Velos. How did you find this PK Ace? Do you anyone here? Are they ninja? No. Velos is made up of interesting fighters. I actually have a cousin here. Her blood brother is the one who can help you. We're next to show our papers for entry. Good day to you, sirs. Passes and ids please. Oh, Minato Namikaze, you're expected. Lady Rania said to allow you and your charge through. A guardsman will escort you to the consulate Imperial Hall. Good day. The guard said. Minato gained and walked into the hub of the city. Kakashi was blown away. No hidden village shinobi could enter such unique designs. He was looking around while Minato waited for the escort. Minato smiled to himself as he looked at Tsukumo's son. Just being here was helping, but for how long? Until the next mission. Kushina had sent a letter with him to their joint cousin, one on her father's side and one from her mother's side. Ahem. Beg pardon. I am your escort to the consulate hall. My name is Trent Balboff. Please follow me. Is Rania busy? Or Danik? She is finishing up paperwork and Danik is cussing Faulty sent me because of yet to meet you. Sensei. Oh, Rania de Sangre is my and Kushina's cousin. Me on her mother's side, Kushi on her father's side. The bloody hellion is your cousin. I find that hard to believe. Your clans were wiped out. How? My uncle Damas left the elemental nations after he married Tara Uzumaki. They came and fought for decades to turn this land back to life. Minato told the young boy. All around Kakashi were sounds of everyday life in the village. Vendors hawking their goods, customer trying to get the best deal for the coin, children running, but what struck Kakashi the most were the weird symbols on every door and building. They resembled seals but were far more simple. People didn't stare at the two as they were escorted towards a giant building in the center of everything. Shortly they were going up the steps when a beautiful woman with dark skin and pink eyes greet them. Hello Minato, how's Kushina? The woman asked in a weird accent. Fine and sassy as ever, Scarlet. This is my student Kakashi Hatake. Minato said, placing his hand on Kakashi's shoulder. Oh, he's a little cutie. Rania mentioned you taken on a team to train. I think I can take them from here, Trent. Your sister and your mother are looking for you. Both of them. Why? Your father told me that he needed to see all of you together. I believe it has something to do with that other matter. Then I shall talk my leave of your. Good day to all, Trent said, leaving. Scarlet smiled and continued on the way up a giant staircase. She turned a sharp right atop and led the group to a series of offices. They stopped at the fifth one. Here we are. She's expecting you. Danik is waiting as well. Scarlet bent down to face Kakashi. I have many talents, but I also read people. Didn't let the Ost become your future, Kakashi, she said, giving Kakashi a hug. Kakashi stood quiet for a moment before wrapping his arms around Scarlet. No words were said. None were needed. After a space of minutes, Scarlet released Kakashi from the hug and smiled at him. Kakashi I smiled back. Now I have to go back to work. She's inside. But I will see you before you two leave. Good day, Scarlet said, walking away. Good day. Come on, Kakashi. Ranya's waiting. Minato said softly. Kakashi stood still as Minato opened the door to the huge office. Shelves covered with books and scrolls of all kinds covered the walls. A buffet in the corner HWLD, a rather large ornate tea set. But what really caught his eye was the beautiful woman who sat at a big desk. Her pen was going as fast as she could write. A big man stood at the window. He had long white hair and wore a black trenchcoat with black and gold armor shoulder guards. He turned to face the newcomers with grace that showed noble upbringing. Albino skin and red eyes made him appear otherworldly. Hello Rania. Hello Danik. This is Kakashi Hatake. He's the one I wrote you about. Minato said softly. Danok's red eyes stared down at Kakashi. Kakashi looked down. Danik had been through hell too. He understood loss and regret. You can't allow the past to affect the future. You must live for them as they would have live. I remember my family every day. You take the good with bad. Never forget them. Always believe in them. Others hurt too. Your sensei lost 2 students whom he cared for. Grief can make bonds stronger. Kakashi, you cared for your friends and I don't think that they wanted you to suffer at their deaths. Danik said, his red eyes flicking softly. You don't have an eye from your friend. Kakashi said. I wish I had a memento besides my memory. Always remember that your gift was given out of love, not foolery. The pain will never go away, but it will become bearable. Rania is going to give you a unique crystal. It will allow you to contact us. If you need a listening ear, don't hesitate to use it. Really? Why? Those who have walked the path of loss need to have a shoulder to lean on. You've lost people important to you. The past is beyond your control, but the future is yours. Even if you just want to talk about everyday things. Danik said, looking in Kakashi's eye. Kakashi met his gaze with one of his own. He would live for Obito and Rin. They would be happy in the afterlife. Lord Danik, what happened to your father? Danik looked out the window. He seemed far away. He regretted it for a long time. But he'll have to earn death. Sometimes letting people live is worse than letting people die. This is my justice. I never looked back at him. Quote. Obito, Rin, I swear that I will live for all of us now. I will live as you lived. Kakashi thought. Danik was right. They wouldn't want him to grieve to death. Kakashi looked out at a balcony that led to the internal gardens. Do you want to go to the gardens, Kakashi? I'm sure Rania and Minato like to speak in private. If it's alright with Sensei, I would. Go ahead. I am going to be a while anyway and some things are just too boring for kids. Minato said, smiling. I'm not a kid. I'm a shinobi. Kakashi said, leaving with Danik. Rania waited until the two were out of sight. So, you ended the war single-handedly. No small feat for you. How Kushina? Rania asked, walking over to the buffet holding the tea set. She poured 2 cups, added cream to both and cinnamon to hers. She handed Minato one. She's doing great. I'm going to be the Yondaime Hokage. You're going to Hokage. That's great. What does Kushina think about it? After all, you've only been married a little bit more than a year. Rania sipping her tea. She's got another role to play. I am going to be a father. 6 months from now, Minato said grinning. Rania placed her cup down and hugged Minato. That's wonderful. Another mixed blood Nami Uzu. I'll have to send the baby a gift. But back to serious talk, you didn't just come because of Kakashi. Something is stirring in the shadows. Orochimaru, a Sannin, is trying to take power away from shinobis who do not believe in his methods. That Shimura fellow didn't want the Sandaime to be Hokage. He will stop at nothing to usurp power. Orochimaru is a favorite of his because he is trying to rule the world. Minato, when you get to be Hokage, be careful. Physically, they can't touch you without alerting your allies, but word of mouth is far more dangerous than any weapon. I fear that the Konoha my uncle Hashi, Shadaime Hokage, died protecting is not the Konoha of today. Please give me your word that if there is any trouble, you will ask for help. Rania said. Minato nodded. We must leave now. Here Kushi's letter. I'll collect Kakashi. Good day. Minato poofed away. Why do I get the feeling I won't ever see him again? Just like when wars broke out. Minato, Kushina, stay safe. Rania thought, looking out over the garden where Minato and Kakashi poofed away. Only the future will tell the tale. Don't own Naruto, only OC's mine. Ask if you what to use them. This chapter is going to have a time skip. Everything in the series happens canon. This chapter is going to start at the end of Sasuke retrieval arc. Naruto succeeds in returning Sasuke. He was under control of the curse seal. Naruto broke it. A boy in orange had his teammate on his back. Both were gravely injured due to fighting each other. How? Did you know wasn't me fighting you? The Raven said. You're not your brother. You care about people. That pedo wanted your eyes and body. All told you I never gave up. Look. Sasuke, home. Thank you, Naruto. I'm sure I've got a lot of explaining to do. Looks like the welcoming committee is here. Sasuke said. Both boys were weak of exhaustion and blood loss. Sakura. I got him. He was under the curse seal. Naruto said, collapsing to his knees in front of his pink teammate. Naruto. Sasuke. Shika. Get Sasuke to the hospital. I'll take Naruto. Sakura. Help the Dobi first. I put 2 Chidoris though him. I can manage. You did what? Sakura yelled. Sasuke grimaced. Sakura. Help me. I'm cold. Naruto said. Shika. Help me get Naruto to Tsunade-sama. Ino. Help Sasuke. I can walk on my own. Help Naruto. Ino. Sasuke said. Sakura and Shikamaru are halfway to the hospital. I'm sure Lady Tsunade is there. Come on, Sasuke, you're hurt too. Ino said softly. Sasuke's onyx eyes focused on Ino. Please let the Dobi live. I'll make it up to him, somehow. At Konoha General Hospital, Tsunade Senju was exiting ER surgery room 2. Neji Hyuga would live but would take time to recover. All but one of the team sent out to find and bring Sasuke back had come back. Tsunade couldn't help but wonder if Naruto had succeeded when a loud ruckus from the entryway caught her attention. She turned a town to see Sakura and Shikamaru holding a bloody beaten Naruto. Tsunade quickly jumped into action. Get surgery room 4 ready stat. Find Shizune and send her. How did the Gaki get so wounded? Sasuke did this when he was under the curse seal. Ino's bringing him. Lady Tsunade. Sasuke admitted that it was the curse seal that made him do his actions. Sakura said quickly. Tsunade's eyes widened. Sasuke did care about his friends. But right now the crazy blonde needed her attention. Why isn't the fox helping? Tsunade thought as she quickly removed Naruto's orange jacket to find 2 large holes through him. Tsunade paused for a moment before going into her doctor mode. She grabbed 6 vials of Kraka boosting liquid off a counter. Lady Tsunade. You wanted. Oh my god. Naruto. Shizune gasped quickly entering the room. She began using Charka to heal Naruto. Tsunade Quilky injected the booster into Naruto's arm. A small moan escaped from him. Ba-chan. Nei-san. Naruto said weakly. He tried to get up but was forced back down. Shizune gently brushed her hand across Naruto's face. He leaned into her touch. Naruto, why isn't the fox helping? Tsunade asked. Too busy keeping my organs going. Kabuto hit me with a chakra punch. I carried Sasuke back after me and him fought Kabuto off. Don't be too hard on Sasuke. Wasn't his fault. Naruto said tiredly. Kabuto messed with your chakra then. You should feel a slight warming sensation. Just go back to sleep. I'll do the rest. Tsunade said. Naruto smiled and closed his eyes. Shizune, go see if Kakashi or Jiraiya are in the waiting room. Shizune quickly exited the room rushing to find one of them. She seen Jiraiya first. Lord Jiraiya, Lady Tsunade needs you. Shizune said. Jiraiya hurried in. Where's Kakashi? They called him to council meeting. Sent Root to get him. Ino said. All of the Konoha 12 who hadn't been in the fight were waiting on word from the doctors about their friends. Fear and anger radiated throughout the room. Shizune knew that Danzo would stop at nothing to get Naruto in his clutches. Oh yes, she played innocent but had learned to look underneath from Tsunade. This could only mean the worst possible outcome because none of the shinobi clan heads were in council. They were here. Oh Kami, let me be wrong. Shizune prayed going onto Naruto's room. Under the Shimura Manaizen, an old warhawk smiled as his plan was working. He'd finally had a way to make the Sannin leave and get Naruto in his program. Another smile broke the darkness with its own terrible laugh. Don't own Naruto. OC's mind please don't use without permission. Kakashi Hatake stared at the civilian council without emotion. He was cool on the outside but mad as hell on the inside. They had to be joking. Banish all those involved in the Sasuke retrieval mission except Sasuke. All had some injury from minor to severe. They also could banish the two Sannin as well as the Shinobi Council clans for support of an enemy. Naruto wasn't the enemy. He, like his mother, held the Kyuubi, not vice versa. Kakashi knew the only way to save his team, his sensei's sensei, the current Hokage, and the clans was to Lee Avenue. They wouldn't be allowed to go to any allies because of conflict of interest. But he knew one place where scum like the council couldn't find them, and even if they did, they would have to follow the laws of the land. Kakashi decided it was time for Naruto to learn a secret that only he knew. They would go to Velos. At the hospital, Tsunade is just beginning to tell the ninja about Naruto and Sasuke. Lady Tsunade, how are they? Is Naruto going to live? How soon before I can punch Sasuke for running away and hurting Naruto? Both are going to be alright. Yes, and in about 2 weeks. Any other questions, Sakura? No. Where's Kakashi? He ought to be here. A poof sounded in the center of the group. Kakashi stood silently, not reading Ika Ika. What's wrong? What did the civilian council want? Tsunade asked. Kakashi took a deep breath. They have removed you as Hokage, banished the Shinobi Council as well as anyone save Sasuke who went on the mission. Worst part is the new Hokage is Orochimaru. What? You're not lying, are you? Danzo done it. In one fell swoop, he has taken out the shinobis who care about this village as well as Naruto. We'll have to leave before they mess with our chakra. Everyone gather what you can in scrolls, money, anything of importance. Bring your clans outside the gate. I am going to gather my personal belongings. We'll carry the injured and go. Tsunade paused. South. There is a coast there. We can board ships. South it is. Any questions? Should we tell Ayame and Tuki? What about the Anbu? Sakura asked. I'll tell them. Guy, I want you to gather all the money from the shinobi accounts. Clan accounts not included. Use these scrolls. Kakashi, I know this is reaching, but see if Sasuke wants to come with us. Shikamaru, ask the Sand siblings. We must leave tonight. The shinobi jumped into action quickly but secretly doing their jobs. By nightfall, all was set. Tsunade had the wounded brought out after the traders were too busy making plans for the banishment ceremonies tomorrow. Jiraiya, can you take Naruto? Chosa's going to carry Choji, Hiyashi is carrying Neki, Sume or Hana will carry Kiba, Guy carries Lee, and Kakashi carries Sasuke. Asuma, where's Konohamaru and the gang? I am carrying them, their legs are a little too short for keeping up with us. Tsunade-sama wait, I am coming too. Momo Haruno said. She had been the only holdout for the shinobis. Mom, what are you doing here? I thought you hated Naruto. Did I ever say that? No, I disliked the way he held back. I've got a good idea who his parents are and I am not going to follow a snake pedo. I slipped a sleeping agent into the tea. They'll be out for hours. Momo Haruno said. Tsunade quickly jumped into action. Load up the wounded and let's go. We'll start from the west and cut south. Gaara, ain't you sure the ramen chef and Ayame can go with you? Gaara nodded. Ba-chan, what's going on? Why are we outside? Did Sasuke fart again? Naruto said. Snickers were heard all around. Tsunade just sighed. We've been banished, all of us. Kakashi knows of a place to live. Don't you dare blame yourself. Tsunade hissed. Naruto's face fell for a moment before splitting into a grin. Sasuke must have farted really loud because that's the only way they'd let him leave. Naruto said laughing. Most older shinobi sighed as some of the younger ones snickered. Sasuke laughed. We need to go. Kakashi, when will we reach the coast? Going non-stop. Tomorrow afternoon. I have made arrangements for us. I hope that route doesn't bother us. Kakashi said. Tsunade nodded and the party headed towards their new destiny. Don't own Naruto only OCS please don't use without permission Velos. Rania de Segru sat in her office overlooking the Velosian market. She'd received Kakashi's message yesterday. So the hidden snake shows his face. Does he think he can get Naruto and the other kids? Oh, Minato, your sacrifice was in vain. Saving Konoha cost you your life and someone killed Kushina. I swore that I would get to the bottom of her death. But Konoha can rot in the pyre of hell for I care but the true will of fire lives in those who come here. Rania thought as her door opened. You wished to see me, Lady Rania. A older man said softly. Yes, Maris. Have your ships left for the coast of Fire Country? They'll be there by early morning. I have instructed them to lend aid as well as to behave themselves. Rania smiled softly. Maris was head of the Navy of Velos and answered only to Rania or the Consul of Velos, Galen Abuska. Rania's titles were Commander of Military National and Commander in charge of the Consulate Imperial Guardians. She was second in command to Consul Galen Abuska. Danik was not in the consul's guard but often aided in certain hands-on missions. All military commanders came to her. Galen gave her full authority over all military matters. This freed up him for over matters, such as burning a council order he didn't like. Kakashi's message was simple. Rania, the civilian council has banished Naruto as well as the two Sannin and the Konoha 12 and their clans. I told them I knew of somewhere to go and I hope I wasn't being hasty but Danzo and TGE others will not stop at this. Kakashi. Rania merely nodded. Mercus took this as a sign to leave. Rania's thoughts were elsewhere at the moment. Minato, your son will finally get to meet his few relatives. I pray that he won't blame you for doing what had to be done. Maybe, fate was leading the shinobi to Velos for a reason but Rania had a feeling that Danzo and Root were going to start trouble. Land of Fire. Kakashi ran in the ground with Sasuke on his back. Just behind him was Jiraiya with an injured Naruto on his. Tsunade was helping to carry Akamaru due to his injuries. They were almost to the edge of the sea when Root Anbu appeared. By order of Hokage Orochimaru, you are to return with the prisoners to Konoha for trial. If you don't comply, we will do so by force, the Root commander said coldly. Kakashi gave his weird eye smile. Try it. Tsunade spat out. The 10 tried to move but couldn't. What? I can't move. This can't be the Nara's doing. We're immune to it. There is an old saying that goes, a wolf in sheep's clothing will devour the flock, Kakashi said. The root commander looked around only to see 8 Anbu besides himself trapped. The 10th sat on the ground with pen and ink, their shadows trapped by a net of ink. Sigh. You traitor. The Anbu yelled. The last member removed his mask to reveal a pale face with no emotion. I am no traitor. I have been working with Team 7 since the Wave mission. I am a Konoha shinobi in service of Lady Tsunade. I will kill you now. Sai said coldly. No, Sai. Danzo will know if we kill. Sai. Behind you. Tsunade yelled. Sai turned fast only to see 5 kunais in the air spinning towards him. He wouldn't be able to dodge in time. The kunais were tipped, but before they made contact they were caught in mid-air by small daggers. The Anbu who threw them turned to see who had dared to stop him and knew true fear. A built, slender man dressed in black stood in front of the access to the docks. The root Anbu felt fear unlike anything Danzo could put out. The man looked like a demon with his burning red eyes. Kakashi smiled. Hello, Danik. Shock was the look on the root captain's face. Danik Sanos was simply standing there looking at him like he was a bug to be squashed. Worse, Kakashi Hatake knew him somehow. The shinobis were stunned. Kakashi I smiled. I'll make proper introductions later. But right now we need to handle the root. Kakashi said softly. Jiraiya's eyes darted to the man blocking the clearing's exit. Dangerous to anyone who is against him. Root is in for trouble and I'm glad I'm on this side. Jiraiya thought as Danik walked to face the root. Kashi, I will take care of these vermin. Take the exit to the ships. I will join you shortly. Danik said. Tsunade was speechless. She'd never seen a man dressed as this man was. Armored shoulder guards in black and gold, a chestplate with a unique pattern, and a huge sword of black and gold. He walked with an air of danger to anyone who opposed him. Tsunade was glad that he wasn't standing in the way. Lady Tsunade, we should go. I'll explain everything once we are safe. The wounded need to rest and they have med units on their ships. Kakashi said. Tsunade immediately began to follow Kakashi at the mention of the wounded, all of which were asleep due to Shizune's sleep medicine. Kakashi, how do you know him? Tsunade asked as they exited the clearing. Several silver ships were harbored there. A regal-looking man stood at the boarding ramp. Kakashi walked forward to greet the man. Hello, Xavier, I was wondering who came with Danik. These are all the shinobi that have come with me. I hope that some medics came with you. Kakashi said. Kakashi, has she ever done anything halfway? We have 4 on each ship unless you wish to keep them all together. Hello, Tsunade. Xavier said. He had an olive green robe lined with a thin black and gold emblem. His shoulder-length pale blonde hair accented his amber eyes. He wasn't much taller than Tsunade. I ought to kill you, Kakashi. You are crazy if you think I'm going to go. Tsunade fumed. Now, Tsunade. I'm sure you have other things to occupy you besides fighting with us. You have wounded and they come first. Your comrades might be wondering how you know me. All will be made known in time. Ah, Danik, you have a prisoner for us. Xavier said. Danik had come up to the group hauling the root Anbu by his hair. The shinobi stood in awe. Danok's armor wasn't touched. The root was shivering in sheer terror. What kind of man could cause such fear? Many thought. The caption was a fool. We must go. Others are closing in. Come, I will help you with loading. Those who need medical aid should be first. The elderly and children next, along with Lady Tsunade, and I believe the man next to you is Jiraiya the Toad Sage. You will go with the wounded. I am no slouch when it comes to fighting. I can help with the boarding. You have helped us, so I'm sure I can do something. Jiraiya said, looking at Danik. What of the boy on your back? Does he not need help? He is known even to us. I meant no disrespect. You can help by seeing that the boarding is quick and steady. Those others who wish to help may do so. Quickly now, Thankx stated. Jiraiya could have pushed some but decided against it. Quickly, I can buy us time if need be. Root isn't the only things after you. Thankx said as the boarding began. Choji, Naruto, Kiba, Neji, Sasuke, and Lee were quickly placed on the center ship. Jiraiya immediately took charge leading the clans, the Sand siblings, Tsunade, and the Anbu onto the center ship. Only a few of the clan members beside the clan heads have joined them. The civilians and Genin onto a second ship and anyone who didn't fit onto the first two on the thrid. As the last of the shinobi boarded the center ship, Thankx got a chill. Captain, set sail. All have boarded. Incoming. Thankx yelled. Those on deck hit the deck. Bone spears soared over them. Well now, here's a sight. Great warriors bowing to the might of Orochimaru's sound 4. Isn't it beautiful, Tanya? Kimihiro chuckled. Thankx stood up, his ruby eyes flashing. Jiraiya stood up to face Kimihiro, Tanya, Jugo, and the spider freak, sorry forgot his name. You're dead. The rookies killed you, Jiraiya said. Kimihiro laughed. Lord Orochimaru is a genius in cellular regeneration. Soon all his cursed warriors will be immortal. Now, I'll let you go but the Sharingan and Fox boy stay. No deal. I'll fight you until I can't walk. You are a disgrace to the shinobi way. Those boys have more honor and respect for each other than any other nins I know. Jiraiya spat. Thankx joined him as well as the clan heads on the deck. Kimihiro laughed. You can't touch me. Take them out were our orders and we'll obey till death. Perhaps it is time for those present to lead in my Batka name and then we shall see if you want to fight. I am called Mordenira the Black Death. Don't own Naruto or any characters from the series. OCs are mine. Please don't use without permission. Mordenira the Black Death. Thankx said facing the sound 4. Kimihiro's eyes widened. Tanya scoffed. Jugo grunted and Spider Freak smiled. No one stands in Lord Orochimaru's way to immortality. We are his elites. Tanya said smirking. Well, if this is the best, I think Orochimaru's master plan is failing. I mean, look at you. An 8-armed freak, a boy full of hot air, a filthy-mouthed girl who needs a good spanking, and a sickly coward. No contest hell the lowest rung of the Melita of Cappy could beat you and that's the cooks. Thankx said noting how they took his words. Why you using symbols here, freak? I could beat your ass any day. Tanya said holding her flute. Thankx ignored her. Xavier however took an interest in fighting her. You fight with that flute. It causes hallucinations, correct? Uses genjutsu. You are outclassed. Go home. Xavier said cheerfully. Tanya fumed. Take this, you scum. Tina said placing her flute at her mouth, but before she could begin her flute shattered into thousands of tiny pieces. Tanya looked in shock as the pieces fell to the ground. How? It was indestructible. I'll kill you. Tanya wailed. Xavier STTOD with a modified version of a crossbow in his grasp. Your flute uses sonic energy to cast its notes. The same energy can be used to destroy it. A very well-placed sonic bolt. Now you have no weapon and are no threat. Only fools use weapons as faulty as yours. Xavier hissed. Kill them all. For Lord Orochimaru. Kimihiro shouted. Jugo jumped to face Jiraiya. Spider Freak jumped to face Hiashi and Sum who had joined the group, and Kimihiro jumped to face Thankx. Kimihiro immediately spit out bone daggers at Thankx only to have them hit his armor and shatter. Foolish child, such tricks are for beginners. I will end this fight before it begins. Thankx stated, pulling his blade. Black lighting glowed and zagged around it. Holding it in above his head, Thankx began his attack. Art of Nightmare. Death Lighting Swarm. Thankx shouted. Kimihiro started to laugh. Lighting has no. Kimihiro began to say as BKACK lighting bolts transferred from the sky onto Thankx's blade. Thankx aimed the blade directly at Kimihiro's heart. Kimihiro couldn't move. Intense pain ripped through him. What is this? Why does it hurt like when I had my sickness? What kind of man is he? Kimihiro thought. Jugo and the others were paralyzed by Kimihiro's scream of pain. Danik stood motionless as the attack went through Kimihiro. What is this? Kimihiro asked, grasping for air. This is the art of nightmare. You cannot escape this with chakra or any other tact. You will die. Yoi heard me call myself TGE Black Death, now learn my true name and die. My true name is Danik Sanos, Lord of Nightmare. Danik said. Kimihiro's eyes widened only moment before Danok's attack caused him to implode into thousands of tiny particles amongst the wind. Jugo gulped. Retreat. Back to Lord Orochimaru. Jugo shouted. The remaining Soin-2 turned to leave as the cursed warriors disappeared into the ground. Not so fast. You still know too much. Danik, may I? Xaver said. Danik nodded. Crossbow iron shaft attack. Iron needles. Xaver called out. His crossbow then sent millions on tiny iron pieces into Jugo and the spider freaks' bodies, killing them as it corroded their bodies to slime. Danik turned to the flabbergasted shinobi and the crew. Captain, let's go home. Don't own Naruto, only OCs. As the ships left port, the shinobi's minds were wondering. What kind of man is he? Is he truly friend or foe? Danik knew explanations were needed but would wait until they were safely away from land. Milord, the Lady Tsunade would like a word with you if possible. An Anbu captain said. Danik turned to face the Neko Anbu. Let's go. I suppose now is as good a time as any. Are the others there as well? Danik asked. No, milord. Lady Tsunade only has Lord Jiraiya and Kakashi with her right now. The others are tending the injured. Here we are. Lady Tsunade, I've brought him. Good, Neko. You may leave now, Tsunade said as she faced the window. Neko left quietly. What questions do you have? I can't answer too many without some input. Danik said, standing to Tsunade's right. Tsunade whirled around quickly, anger on her features. Kakashi and Jiraiya were leaning against the wall. Why are you just now coming here? Didn't either of you think that Naruto needed family? Tsunade hissed. Danik looked at her, hurt in his eyes. Does Jiraiya know who you really are? The powerful connections you and Naruto both have. Don't you think that if we could have been there we would have been? You yourself, Tsunade, know how politics can be used against someone. Danik asked quietly. Tsunade looked at Jiraiya with sad eyes. A part of her wanted to forget the past few days, but could not. Yes, she knew politics and how they were used. Jiraiya, do you have a Daimyo Bungo book? Danik asked. Yes, I always keep one. Why? Turn to the last few pages and look up Mortonira. Danik said. Jiraiya quickly flipped through the pages until he found what he was looking for. Mortonira Foss, KOS, Bounty 100 million Ryo alive, 500,000, OO dead. Crimes, took out 6 Iowa platoon of 2,000 men without provocation. Jiraiya said, eyes widen. That was you who defeated the Earth Daimyo's elite. Damn, I thought I was wanted. Jiraiya said. Iowa is only one of many East and West countries that want mine and another's blood. However, no one has yet to claim bounty. We are going velos, Tsunade, it is time Naruto and another learn about themselves. Rania was angry when she received Kakashi's message about you, so she sent these ships. We'll be there by midday tomorrow. If any of Orochimaru's freaks show up there, well, let's just say that their prized curse seal won't help them. You can counteract the curse seal? Jiraiya asked. Yes and no. I'll go into more detail at a safer place than this. Besides, I would like to meet the children on board. They are the best of the best, right? Danik said, smiling. They'll probably be with Naruto and the others. Word of warning, Danik, some of the CKANs might be suspicious of your intentions towards us. I'll explain that you are an old friend of mine from the south. Not many would discount my word. Tsunade said, leading the way to the med bay. Soft whispers could be heard from the other side of the door. Tsunade entered, followed by Jiraiya, Kakashi, and Danik. Everyone, listen. This gentleman who stepped in to help us reach our destination is Danik Sanos. He wishes to meet all of you. Be respectful and courteous. Introduce yourselves one at a time, please. Shikamaru, you go first. Tsunade said. Shikamaru muttered, troublesome. Shikamaru Nara of the Nara clan. Shika said, looking like he was going to fall asleep. Ino went next. Ino Yamanaka of the Yamanaka clan. Tenten Yoshi, a girl with Chinese buns, said quietly. Sakura Haruno of Team 7. My teammates are unable to introduce themselves, so I will if it's alright, Kakashi Sensei. The blonde boy is Naruto Uzumaki and the other one is Sasuke Uchina. She said softly. My name is Hinata Hyuga of the Hyuga clan. Hinata said. She was standing beside her cousin Neji's bed. Shikamaru and Ino were beside Choji, Tenten beside Rock Lee, and Sakura sat in between Naruto and Sasuke. Their senseis and parents had left earlier for a meeting with Tsunade. Shizune walked quietly among them. Tsunade noticed that all the genin were staring curiously at Danik. We've introduced ourselves, sir, can we know your name? Tenten asked softly. Danik smiled gently. Kakashi was right, all these children have some sort of gift. Danik thought. My name is Danik Sanos, Duke of Blackridge. I am your escort to ensure your safety on this trip. I will also help you once we reach our destination. Danik replied softly. Soft whispers were heard around the room. Asuma turned to ask a question, but the door bussard open. Lord Danik, pirates are coming. Do you wish to fight or flee? A crewman said. Danik turned towards the gentleman. What flag do they bear? The bones with a slash through them. Fight. Thank you all for reading my story. To those who gave me a good review, thank you. To the bad review, I am sorry that my FIC feels forced to you. I know that some things don't make sense right now, so please bear with me if possible. If you don't want to read my FIC because it feels wrong to you, that's okay. As for the setup of the FIC, I am going to add more OCs that are based on European, Chinese, Japanese, and many more countries because I think that the characters that I create and those of Naruto can be used to get one message across. I will reveal the rest of Danok's story in time because it is vital to the plot. Don't worry, action is coming. If you still feel it is forced and pathetic, then don't read it. Fight. We have injured as it is. Fleeing is the best option. I am not risking any more lives, Danik. Tsunade said. Danik turned to face her. They will never reach these ships. The bones with a slash mark flag is a mark that says they fight hand to hand. Our cannons have a reach of 100 feet. We will fire scattershot first to damage their mast. Then if they keep coming towards us, then we will make evasive moves. If they get on these ships, a lot more will die. Please, bear with me. Soon we will docking at port and I am sure all of you will be a lot more comfortable. Danik said, leaving the room. Booms were held a short time later as the ships tried to discourage the pirates. Meanwhile, Naruto appeared to sleep, but he was awake in his mind. Mindscape. Naruto walked down a hall lined with pipes. Where am I? He wondered. Come closer, Kit. It is time you met your tenant. A voice growled softly. Naruto walked to the end of the hall until it stood in front of a large gate with a seal on it. A huge pair of burning red eyes greeted him. Who are you and why are you in my head? Naturo yelled. Kyuubi winced. Easy, Kit. I am Kyuubi no Kitsune. The nine-tailed fox. You are my Kit. I have been inside you since the day you were born. My attack on Konoha ended when your Yondaime sealed me in you. In short, I am the reason the villagers hated you. They seen you as the fox reborn. Don't worry because those you truly care for you are with you now. Besides, Konoha was going to fall soon enough. Kyuubi said softly. Naruto stood in front of the great cage, tears running down his cheeks. All these years of hate, pain, being called demon, freak, monster. All because they knew that I had the nine-tailed fox inside me. Why me? Why would the fourth choose me? I'm a nobody. An orphan. A loser. Why choose me? Naruto wondered aloud. Kyuubi swished one of his tails out to lift up Naruto's tearful face. Red eyes met blue. Because, Kit, he knew that you were the strongest, best, and only person for the job. In order for a Biju to exist, they must exist within a strong person. Kyuubi said. Do any others know? Naruto asked. All of the older generations know, some don't care because they see you for you, Kit. Most of those on this journey left because of what the council did. These are those who care about you. Kyuubi said. Naruto looked away. He knew that some of the village didn't hate him. Some did. Now he knew why. But why keep it secret? Why not tell him? Naruto began to feel a little faint. Kyuubi. What's happening? You are waking up. I'll see you later, Kit. Kyuubi said as Naruto faded. Sakura was sitting in between Naruto and Sasuke when she heard Naruto moan. Naruto. Are you awake? Sakura said looking at the blonde. Naruto cracked his eyes opened. Sakura. Where's Sasuke? Is he alright? I did kill him, did I? Naruto quickly looking around. Sakura sighed. He's in the bed on the other side. Yes, he'll be fine. No, you didn't kill him. She replied. Naruto looked to the bed on the other side of Sakura to see a sleeping Sasuke. I really messed up this time. I got banished. Ba-chan and Arrow Sennin got banished. Most of those who stood up for me left. I'm to blame for everything. Naruto said sadly. Sakura looked at her blonde teammate for a moment then. Smack. Sakura. Why did you slap me? That hurt. You are not to blame. Danzo, the civilian council, and Orochimaru are. They used the system to defeat their enemies. Root Shinobi attacked us when we came to these ships. Friends of Kakashi Sensei saved us. We left because we couldn't stand what the village was becoming. If it hadn't been for you, a lot of Peepki wouldn't be who they are today. I wouldn't be alive. We are you friends and teammates. Besides, you're like a little brother to me. The council is playing with fire. We are the true shinobis of the will of fire. Lady Tsunade said that she'll be in to check on you soon. Ba-chan. She hates me, doesn't she? Naruto said. Sakura was beginning to rear her hand back, but a voice stopped her. What gave you that idea, Yaki? Tsunade doesn't hate you. She couldn't hate you. Jiraiya said. Naruto looked at his second sensei. His almond eyes showed no lies. Because of me, Konoha lost some great people. I should have left. Not you guys. I'm sorry for being such a pain in the ass. Naruto said. Naruto, we are your friends. How long do you think we would have been happy in Konoha without you? We made a choice. You promised me you'd bring Sasuke back to us and you did. The council would have banished anyone in their way. Orochimaru's Hokage now. We chose to leave because of the dirt of Konoha. I go with my team. Sakura said. Naruto still looked down. Jiraiya moved to say something but a voice stopped him. Oi, brat, I told you not to blame yourself. Tsunade said. Naruto looked at Tsunade and the man standing beside her. Kit, listen to them. I know this man but cannot place him. He can help you and your friends. Kyuubi said. Naruto looked at Tsunade with questions in his eyes. Naruto, meet Thankx Sanos. Don't own Naruto or any characters. Naruto looked at the albino man. He was huge compared to Tsunade. Jiraiya stood beside him as Naruto studied the man before him. He was dressed in what would be considered nobleman's wear from another part of the world. His eyes were red but friendly. Naruto didn't feel out of sorts or like he was someone who wanted Naruto dead. Naruto was suddenly tired. He could feel the energy draining out of him. Suddenly, he fell off the side of the bed opposite Sakura. Sakura reached to grab him before he hit the floor but wasn't fast enough. Naruto knew that he was going to hit the floor hard but was surprised when a pair of strong arms kept him from doing so. Naruto looked around to see that Danik had moved faster than the Sanins and Naruto now rested against him. Thanks. Being injured sucks. Ba-chan, what's wrong with my chakra? Naruto asked. Kabuto injured your chakra coils. They'll heal but recovery will be slower than normal for you. Tsunade said. Danik gently eased Naruto back into bed. Naruto felt like he'd gone 12 rounds with Guy. He began to doze off when another voice broke into his head. Naruto. Sakura. Where's Dobi? He's alright, isn't he? We made it to the shore. He's in bed on the other side. We're in a ship heading south. Sakura said, facing Sasuke. She looked tired. Her pink hair was somewhat messy and her face showed signs of fatigue. Sasuke suddenly felt guilty. If he hadn't let the curse mark take effect, none of this would have happened. He almost killed his best friend, his brother, for power to kill Itachi. Stop, Tem. You weren't yourself. Besides, from what Ba-chan tells me, Danzo had this plan to begin with. Naruto said quietly. Arasunade walked over between the two boys. Danik hadn't moved from Naruto's bedside. Do not blame yourself. Such men as Danzo are always out for power. In fact, once we are settled on dry land again, you will find out exactly what power cost Danzo and a few other truths. Do not be troubled by the past, trust me, but look to the future. Kakashi told me that his Genin team needed to learn one important thing, and I think you learned it now. We will be docking midday tomorrow, then you will see where your destiny has taken you. Now I believe there are a few children outside who want to see their friends. Danik said softly. Sasuke looked in the man's eyes and seen only truth shining there. Come in quietly, Ino. Be quick, all of you need rest. Tsunade told them. The rookies entered the room. Choji, Kiba, Lee, and Neji were pushed in wheelchairs by their friends. Hinata blushed cherry red as she began to speak. How are you, Naruto? Hinata stammered. Naturo gave her the peace sign. It'll take a few days for me to be back to normal, but I'm willing to wait. Naruto replied. Hinata smiled at his attitude. And Sasuke, how do you feel? Hinata asked. The rookies watched quietly as Sasuke answered. Like a big jackass. I could have gotten you all killed. I let a stupid ambition take over my life. Being friends with you guys should have been my higher ambition, not killing Itachi. Maybe there is a reason behind what he did. Danzo may have led him to do it. When I see Itachi again, I will ask him. He has never lied to me. Right now, my goal is to rid myself of this damn seal. Orochimaru's not going to use me as a pawn in his game. Sasuke said, eyes hard. Sakura had placed her hand gently on his shoulder. The presence of his allies, his friends, made him believe that he could. We'll help, Sasuke. We are all bound to the same fate as you. Such evil must be stopped before it gets out of hand. We may never be able to return to Konoha, but we can stand by each other. We are the will of fire and as such must never let that fire die. Tsunade said. Jiraiya nodded. Danik was quiet until now. I hate to interrupt a gathering such as this, but I think we all need a little rest. We will be at our destination midday tomorrow. Danik said gently. Kakashi I smiled his agreement. Kakashi sensei, will you stay with us? Just in case. Naruto asked. Of course, Naruto. I'll be happy to do so. After all, you are my students. A good teacher always looks out for them. Kakashi said. The others took their leave as Kakashi settled Naruto, Sasuke, and Sakura in bed. A warm feeling came over him. Sensei, I hope I'm doing enough to make you proud. He thought as he drifted off to sleep, a feeling of happiness within him. Don't own any Naruto characters. Kakashi woke to silence. His one eye darted about in the dimly lit room. His genin were sleeping soundly to his right. Something woke him up from his slumber. He glanced around without moving, his senses on high alert. Another person was in the room. Kakashi quietly removed a kunai from his pouch. Pushing up his hitate, He scanned the room for chakra. Can't sleep, Lord Hiashi? Kakashi asked softly. The Hyuga merely nodded. I was checking on the genin. As a clan head, it is my duty to protect those without a clan. I take those responsibilities without hesitation, as you well know. Hiashi said quietly. Kakashi nodded his assent. Hiashi Hyuga may be a bane to some but to others a friend. He did not hide from responsibilities as some other clan heads did. The civilian council feared him because of his sway over all other council members. Kakashi knew that Hiashi feared for the genin because he knew that the coup d'etat of Uchiha would have had genin like his daughter used as breeding stock. With Orochimaru as Hokage, worse would be done to them. He had been Minato Sensei teammate as had Fugakuo Uchiha, the only Uchiha who stood against the others with Itachi. Minato never mentioned this place to them because they would feel it needed to be reported. Hiashi had tried to adopt Naruto many times over but the council forbade it. Kakashi knew that Rania would be pissed at the village that let a boy suffer. Truly, he was looking forward to seeing her diplomacy concerning Konoha. Hiashi quietly activated his Byukugan. Kakashi, we are being watched. 4 people on a hidden raft. They are Root. Hiashi said softly. Kakashi nodded. Root operatives were about to get a lesson in breaking treaties. Quiet footsteps greeted the shinobis. A knock sounded on the door once, then 2 sharp knocks. Tsunade stuck her head in. Ah, Lady Tsunade, I see you're aware of our friends. What did you need of me? Hiashi said. Tsunade smiled. Our escort doesn't want us to engage the enemy as they have not engaged us. We need some root as pawns to take a message to Konoha. We care not to cause an international incident. Besides, both of you need rest. So sleep. Hiashi, your daughters and nephew will be worried. Weaker in good company. Yes, Lady Tsunade. Good night. Hiashi said. Kakashi drifted off to sleep as well. Tsunade left the sleeping quarters to go to the upper deck. Finding a quiet spot, she looked out over the sea. Some Hokage I turned out to be. The will of fire is gone from Konoha. Minato's sacrifice all those years ago was for nothing. Kushina's death from birthing Naruto didn't help matters any. Something was in the wind then. Oh, Sensei, if you could only see how they acted. You would be ashamed. I, Tsunade Senju, failed Konoha. I failed in everything. Damn council overstepping their bounds. Villagers disregarding laws, shinobi disregarding orders. Yep. I screwed up. Sorry grandpa, uncle, sensei. I failed. Tsunade thought, tears in her eyes. A lone figure sat watching her. His own eyes moist. He jumped down so he could comfort her. I really made a mess, huh, Jiraiya? Tsunade said, knowing her teammate's signature chakra. No, Haim. The council did all this. Not you. They tied your hands, so to speak. Jiraiya said, gently laying his hand on Tsunade's shoulder. Tsunade looked into her teammate's eyes and seen he only spoke true. The Hokages had let the council run unchecked for too long, and now the loyal leaf shinobi were thrown to the curb while others reap a wealthy harvest. She knew that Konoha's people were blinded by foolish grudges but didn't know that the council of civilians were egging it on. Encouraging the beatings, destruction, even failures of Naruto. If it hadn't been for a few good Peepki, Naruto may have well become the demon they thought him to be. I don't know if the lands where we are heading even know about shinobi, but it's a start for all of us to redo the will of fire. To keep it burning bright. Sensei would have understood that, Tsunade. Jiraiya said as Tsunade sighed. They know of shinobi. I've been there a long time ago. Before the Second Shinobi War. I have family there. What? I thought all your Senju family was dead. They are. I'm talking about Uzumaki kin. A cousin, aunt, and uncle. If the heir's still alive. They are. Tsunade. Just who do you think sent these ships? She doesn't easily forget her younger cousins. Danik said from the shadows. Tsunade half smiled. Jiraiya looked at Tsunade curiously. Jiraiya, have you ever seen the city from the ashes? No. Well, you will. That's our destination, isn't it, Danik? Yes. If you will look over to your right, you will see. The shinobi looked out over the sea. Velos, the city from the ashes, the shining light of the united front against evil, stood for all to see. The captain had sped up the convoy so that they would arrive earlier than expected. Even the clan heads were amazed. Halls of marble, slate granite, sandstone, and many other minerals stood against the early morning sun like a beacon in the ocean for a weary traveler. The middle of this fine city stood a large mansion, many of pure white marble. It beckoned the shinobi onward. Kakashi sensei, what is that big building there? It looks bigger than most clan homes. Sakura asked. Kakashi smiled. That, Sakura, is the consulate Imperial Hall. The consul of Velos, Galen Abuska, lives and works there along with his consul's guard. It is the center of all the United Kingdoms and rules over all of Velos and its allied cities. Kakashi replied. Sakura gazed at the hall with wonder. Sasuke and Naruto both were watching the same view. They'd never seen such a place. The other shinobi were listening too as Kakashi explained everything to Sakura. Yosh. The flames of youth burn brightly here. We can spread more youth, Lee. Guy said as everyone's sweat dropped. Lee jumped up. If we cannot spread such youth, I will run 500 laps around this beautiful city, Guy sensei. Lee. Guy sensei. Lee. Guy sensei. Both shouted as a sunset began to appear behind them. But a rather large wave splashed them into a wall. Tsunade a brow at Kakashi. Wasn't me, Kakashi said to the group. Yeah, right, Tsunade thought. Before anyone could say anything, a crew member appeared. Lady Tsunade, we have landed at port. The other ships are unloading as we speak. The captain wishes you many returns and has the plank ready for departure. Excuse me, where is Xavier and the other gentlemen? They are awaiting you on shore. Lord Danik is personally escorting you to the I must attend to other duties. Let's see this city up close. Everyone help those who need it. Kakashi, a word, Tsunade said. Kakashi walked over to her. You could have told me we were coming here. You know as well as I that Naruto has family here. Tsunade hissed out. Kakashi smiled. I didn't tell because you would have stayed away. Naruto isn't the only family member she has, is he? Kakashi said. Tsunade looked away. I didn't want him to find out like this. He's been through enough. I feared that it would break his heart and he wouldn't consider you one of his precious people. He would be hurt but he would still live you. We must disembark now it seems. I will ensure your safety. Kakashi said as the pair made their way down the plank. The others were waiting on the dock. As one the group moved towards a set of steps formed in the rock. Tsunade, regaining her composure, take the lead. They followed the path until they came to a great gateway. To the right stood Danik waiting for them. But he wasn't alone. A young woman was waiting as well. She was dressed in blood-red clothing and wore a wide-brim red velvet hat with a large white feather coming from the band. She smiled at the shinobi. Good morning to all. My name is Rania Sangru. I have been asked by the consul herself to bring to Velos. We hope that you will make Velos your home. Please follow me too, Rania said stopping mid-sentence. Come out, Root, I can sense you. Rania said softly. 12 Root appeared. Quickly one spoke. We are here to kill the traitors and take back the Uchiha and Hyugas. You will not impede on our Hokage's orders or would you incite a war? Give them now and I will speak well of you. The Root demanded. Rania looked at the Root and laughed. Incite war. You are on a sovereign nation's ground and demand such. My, how easily lambs are led to the slaughter. You are not wanted nor welcome here. You have broke several treaty laws by entering our borders but worse you've insulted the image of Velos. Danik please see that the shinobi are inside the gate. I feel a fight coming on. Trust me, some will live and some will die, Rania said, her voice like ice. Root Shinobi took a stance. One root cast a genjutsu thinking that it would easily end the fight. Rania felt the air change. Quickly, she countered the genjutsu. As I said, some will live. Genjutsu and ninjutsu are quite ineffective against me. However, I don't have time to pick and choose who lives. Rania said, motioning to her left. Fire style, just you. Raging Phoenix, Kakashi called out. The root found themselves trapped by fire. Once the great fire bird disappeared, only two root, the captain and the genjutsu user, lived though injured. Rania turned to a watchman. Bring them to room 46. Right away. Rania turned to the shinobi. Welcome home. Konoha Hokage's office. Orochimaru sat behind his huge desk, a gift from the council, looking at his Sound 3. Kimario's remains were in a sealed scroll and Tanua was insane. He wasn't pleased that his body was gone to another part of the world, but Danzo promised him that he would get them back. Outwitted by my teammates, Kukukuku, now tell the rest your story. Orochimaru hissed. Jiribo told the events. Orochimaru smiled. Kukukuku, this man sounds better than Sasuke. Perhaps I'll take his body instead. Kukukuku, south. Danzo, your route is following them, yes. Orochimaru hissed. The old warhawk nodded. Yes. We should have results soon. Orochimaru looked out over his Konoha. Civilians worshipped him and the shinobi that stayed followed his every word. Money can do that to Peepki. The daimyo was happy as long as he was paid. The daimyo's wife quickly whisked her daughters and tore away. She herself remained as a figurehead. Orochimaru hated the fact that the daughters were hidden beyond his reach because they would have made prime vessels for his experiments. Danzo promised more suitable women in the future. Soon, Danzo, all these nations will be our empire. All will bow to me. Orochimaru cackled. A shadowed figure hidden in the rafters disappeared in a puff of smoke. This news must be told to him. A pair of men waited at the edge of the clearing while another pair watched. Soon a cloaked figure came into view. The two watchers waited for the figure to get closer. Itachi, your information is correct. Orochimaru has taken over. He plans attacks on all other villages. What are we to do? A ninja named Maso asked. Itachi Uchiha looked at his partner for this trip. Kisame was nervous. Jiraiya was to meet them yesterday but never showed. Now they knew why. Itachi looked behind them, drawing a kunai. Lost. Hidan and Kakuzu. The Gobi isn't here. No. We have followed you because you are spies. Hidan figured it out a year ago. We cannot let you return to Leader Sama. You have been compromised by Root. Our true leader has allowed us for safe passage to safety. We discuss more about why we, as you are, spies need to leave. At least I can drop this damnable disguise. Kakuzu replied. Releasing the henge, he masks faded into his back, his face became more human, his stitches melded in with his skin and his gray hair became shoulder length. You two are spies. Why? Pain promised you immortality and money, didn't he? I thought that's what you wanted. Kisame asked. Kakuzu looked at Hidan. A very well thought out plan. We are not allied with Pain or any other village here. Kakuzu and I took this job because a man like Pain and Orochimaru destroyed our homes. I as a priest of Jashin shudders, and Kakuzu as a bounty hunter in search of great wealth. Hidan said. Itachi looked like he'd swallowed acid. Two sets of spies. Who did their work for and how did they receive their orders? Kisame watched his partner closely. The warning not to go to waterfall. That was you, wasn't it? Itachi asked. Kakuzu nodded. Tension was thick in the air. Trust was an issue for all those here. Finally, Kakuzu broke the silence. Your brother is where we are going and some questions are better answered elsewhere. We must leave now, Kakuzu said, turning on his heel. A feeling washed over him. On second thought, a fight would be entertaining, wouldn't it? Kakuzu said, facing the trees. Two squads of Root shinobi appeared. Itachi immediately activated his eyes. Kisame reached for his sword. Root surrounded them. Give yourselves up. No one can go against the might of Konoha Root. Nah, we like having our minds intact. You, however, need an adjustment in manners. As I see no way out of this fight, let's get started. Kakuzu said. A brief battle ensued. Itachi took out two with Genjutsu before deactivating his eyes and joined Kisame in his fight. Kakuzu and Hidan showed exactly why they were partners. Moving in sync with each other. Hidan killed two of them with his scythe while Kakuzu sewed the others in a shrinking cocoon. Kisame finished off his two with the help of Itachi. We must hurry. Spies are everywhere. The ship will be waiting for us at a cove in the wave country. Danzo has already sent more route. Kakuzu said, heading to the east. The other three followed quietly, leaving their cloaks and rings behind. Velos. The shinobi of the land of fire looked around in awe. A beautiful city formed around nature itself. Trees and shrubs grew gracefully around the buildings. Tsunade knew that a meeting that she dreaded was coming. Rania wanted answers about Naruto and herself. She walked with the group until Rania stopped at a large grouping of houses. This is where you will be staying. If you need anything else, just send someone to the Imperium. One thing, Velo's laws state that all occupants must go in pairs. Lady Tsunade, a word if you please at my office. Rania said softly. Tsunade gulped. I'll be there as soon as we are settled in. Good. I want answers from you. Don't own Naruto only OCS. Author's note. There is going to be romance in this FIC. These chapters are setting the plot. FYI Guy will have a girlfriend wife. He. Rania sat behind her desk awaiting Tsunade. Memories that she'd kept locked away flooded her mind. Flashback. Tsunade, you can't abandon your cause. I know Nawaki's and Dan's deaths hurt. I've lost comrades and friends in battle. You are one of the Sanin. Please listen to. Rania said. Tsunade glared at the older woman. I've lost everything because of this damn war. My brother, my love, everything. You can't say that losing a comrade is the same. I'm leaving this hellhole and going to drink myself into a coma. Tsunade raged. Rania's eyes hardened. Rearing back, she slapped Tsunade with enough power to knock her down. Go ahead. Abandon those who need you. What about Shizune? Are you going to break your promise about her too? Rania yelled. Tsunade grabbed at Rania only to find thin air. An arm around her throat. Don't ever do that again, Tsunade. I will have to defend myself. Go, hide, but one day we'll cross paths again and answers will be given. Rania said, turning quickly. Tsunade watched Rania walk away from her. Turning, she gathered Shizune and left the village for the last time. End flashback. Tsunade was nervous. She didn't show it, but she was terrified of facing her older cousin. She was right about my leaving. I made a huge blunder. No wonder Grandpa respected her. Tsunade briskly knocked on the imperial consulate door. A young woman dressed in a noble woman's gown answered. Ah, you must be Lady Tsunade Senju. I am Haneda's staff Mojini. Rania told us that you were coming. The knock is unnecessary from this day forward. Come in and welcome. Also, you may call me Honey. My brother, Trent's staff, will escort you to her office. Honey said, closing the door. A young man waited at the end of the stairway. Lady Tsunade, I am Trent. Rania asked me to escort you to her office as it will be easier to show you than tell you. Please follow me, Trent said. He went up the rounded staircase with ease. Tsunade followed quickly behind him. As they got to the top L, Trent turned left and proceeded down two hallways until a large ornate door came into view. We are here. I will take my leave as Rania would like to speak to you alone. Trent said, bowing. Tsunade merely nodded and turned to the door. Fear swelled in her. Rania was almost a powerful clan head. By rights she outranked Tsunade. Here goes. Tsunade knocked on the door. Enter, Tsunade. Rania said. Tsunade opened the door to reveal a large room with a very ornate overture to it. Rania sat behind the desk watching Tsunade with careful eyes. Tsunade quietly closed the door and faced Rania. About what happened all those years ago. Tsunade began. As forgotten. Tsunade, I asked you to come here because I want to know what the hell happened to Konoha. A proud village reduced to scum. Do you know I had to tell my parents? You can guess their reaction. Rania said looking at Tsunade. Tsunade spoke. Stupid civilians took power away using a law that they created to overthrow Konoha's standing government. Half of those who came with me are clan heads and their families. Some are civilians and others are genin squads and their team leaders. All were either banished or ordered to executed. Kakashi led us here. I wouldn't have come. Well, it seems that Uncle Arashi was right. Konoha would ruin itself. Welcome home, Rania said brightly. Tsunade shook her head. Rania never held grudges. Rania, Minato's and Kushina's son was the one to be executed. His name is Naruto Uzumaki. Tsunade said. Rania whirled around. Tsunade knew she'd stuck a nerve. What? I was told he would be protected. Minato said that TBE Sandaime would ensure his safety. Konoha has been lying to me all these years. Danzo's doing, I suppose. His root members met a rather nasty end though. I'm going to get to the bottom of this treachery. Now, you are officially members of Veloz's High Guard. I'm assuming you will still want to be shinobis, so this is the legal and diplomatic covered way. Besides, you will be in charge of assignments and all that. The consul will see what missions you receive, as some are different than usual. Well, I guess that's it. Rania said. Tsunade got up to leave. I suppose it's time I meet my little cousin. I hope he doesn't hate me. Rania said, grabbing her hat. Tsunade smiled. Naruto doesn't know how to hate but how to understand and love. Just like you. Tsunade said smiling. Rania followed Tsunade out her door to meet her cousin and hoped that Tsunade was right. Next, Naruto meets his family. Naruto looked out over the city. Still confined to bed because Ba-chan was terrified that Kabuto's attack had weakened him, Naruto had little else to do. Sakura was sleeping in the bed across from him and Sasuke was being tended by Shizune. So much has changed, Naruto thought. Another presence felt his thoughts. Changed for the better, Kit. I know this place somehow. You will be happy here. Konoha will regret the day they turned their shinobi away from the will of fire. There are many things that you will learn and one thing you must understand. What's that, Q? Naruto asked the fox. Kyuubi smiled. That some secrets couldn't be revealed until now. Ba-chan is coming. She's not alone. No way. Kit, don't shut off the link yet. I think I may need to speak. Will the other party? Okay. Just don't do anything stupid. Naruto said. As the conversion ended, Tsunade and another woman entered the room. Oi, Baka, you stayed in bed. Tsunade said amused. Naruto grumbled. If I were to leave, where would I go? Naruto retorted. The woman beside Tsunade smiled at this. A small tick mark appeared on Tsunade's forehead. Naruto Uzumaki, meet Rania Sangru. She is second in command here as well as leader of the consul's guard. She has come to see you on a certain matter that I'll think you'll be interested in. Tsunade said looking at Rania. Naruto noticed that the woman was very pale but had dark black hair tinted with red. Her blue eyes also had flecks of red. She was taller than Tsunade but not quite as tall as the giant man who escorted him here. She looked at Naruto with a gaze of mirth. Hello, Naruto. How do you like Velos? Rania asked sitting beside Naruto. Naruto shrugged. It's okay. I haven't been able to get out of bed so I can explore it. I've never seen a place like this. How did you get the trees to grow here? I mean around all this. Naruto said softly. Rania smiled. The trees are a part of our world. They symbolize strength and longevity. But I have accompanied your Hokage here for another reason. What do you know of your family ties? Rania asked in a quiet tone. Naruto shook his head. Nothing. I'm an orphan. I have no family. Naruto said sadly. Rania's eyes flashed. I should have taken him when I could. I'll rectify that soon enough. Naruto, what I am going to tell you may be a bit hard for you. Your family isn't just Uzumaki. It's also Namikaze. Rania said looking at the boy. Namikaze. As in the fourth Hokage Minato Namikaze. I'm kin to the fourth. Yes. This is a secret that only a few know beyond Konoha, myself included. Naruto, you are Minato Namikaze and Kushina Uzumaki Namikaze's son. You are the son of the Yellow Flash himself. Rania said. Naruto stared in disbelief. How could he do this to me? Put the Kyuubi in me. Make my life a living hell. How? Naruto said, tears pouring out. Rania wiped the tears away. As Hokage, how could he ask another family to do what he couldn't ask of himself? A leader leads by example, not behind others. Naruto, your parents looked forward to the day of your birth. Even Kyuubi did. They were so happy that they were having a son. Then all hell broke loose. You know the rest of the story. But, you knew them. What were they like? Do I look like them? Yes. They were like you in so many ways. But that can wait. You are not without blood family here. My true last name is Uzumaki Namikaze. I am your father's and mother's eldest cousin on both sides. My name is Rania Uzumaki Namikaze. I'm older than Tsunade, who too is your kin. Rania said, watching Naruto. Naruto stared at her as if he'd lost his mind. All these years of wanted a blood family, to know where I'm from. Why didn't you come for me? Why didn't you write me? Or even let me know that you existed? Why? Naruto said, tears flowing freely. Rania reached and pulled Naruto into a hug. I've made enemies like your father did. Enemies that not even you can imagine. If they'd known about you. I'm making excuses for not being there. I was promised by the Sandaime that you would been cared for. Believing in him, I allowed you to remain in Konoha for your parents' sake. I see now that it was foolish to think that one person could do this. I will try to right that wrong, however, as a family member of mine you need to know another thing about me. Do you remember the man who accompanied you here? Thankx Sanos. Yes. He's your cousin by blood. He is my blood brother. And my parents are still alive, so you have an aunt, uncle, and 3 cousins. Also, you'll be meeting with Galen Abuska, the consul of Velis. He is like another brother to me. Rania rubbing Naruto's cheek. I have kin. Real kin. Naruto shouted. Rania laughed. A knock sounded at the door. Tsunade opened it to reveal Thankx. He looked at Rania and she nodded. Naruto suddenly hugged Thankx, who laughed at his antics. Naruto, you rest now. My parents will be here tomorrow and my mother should be able to do something about that chakra mix-up. Then I'll show you a real neat trick that only you can do. But only if you behave yourself. Until then, good day. Rania said, closing the door. For the first time in years Naruto slept happily. See previous chapters for disclaimer. Naruto was happy. Tsunade had told him that all his wounds were healed enough for him to be out of bed. He stood at the window. I get to meet the others today. He thought. The door opened to reveal Shikamaru, Choji, Ino, Lee, Gaara, Neji, Hinata, and Tenten. Naruto, how are you feeling today? Neji asked. Naruto turned and faced the group. Great. Neji, I can't wait to see the city. Ba-chan said that we have a meeting with the consul of Velos today. I can't wait to meet him. Sue, leaving Konoha and being branded as banished doesn't bother you? Ino said. Not really, my precious people are here. Besides, they chose to banish me, not me banish them. You left Nana too, Ino. We are all missing Nin. Besides, this place has a lot to offer us, Choji. Naruto said, grinning at the heavier boy. Choji nodded. Like what? Food. Ino teased. Well, yeah, but also we could learn new techniques, make new friends, and even better yourselves. Konoha really didn't offer much of that to us, did it? Naruto said. Ino shut her trap. Naruto's youth is shining today. Rock Lee shouted. Lee, inside voice. The group said. The door opened to reveal Tsunade and Jiraiya. She looked somewhat nervous. We are going to meet the Consul de Lavelos, Galen Abuska, today. Remember that he himself is like a daimyo of this country. Respect and honor are due him. If anyone starts trouble, I will end it. The rookie 12, census, and clan heads are the only ones besides myself and Jiraiya who are attending this meeting. Most of the consul's guard as well as a few others will be there. Any questions? Tsunade asked. No one mentioned anything. Let's go. Our escort is downstairs, Tsunade said. The group left in a 2x2 fashion with Naruto and Sasuke bringing up the rear. At the gate of the huge compound was a slender man and woman dressed in a black striped red tunic with black leggings. They turned to Tsunade. Greetings, lady. I'm Trey. This is my comrade Jana. We are to escort you as well as see that no harm comes to you. Please follow me, Trey said, facing towards the consulate. The walk was quickly done with as Trey and Jana made way for the shinobi. People glanced at them curiously but no said anything. The large doors to the consulate were ornately decorated with creatures. Tsunade customarily knocked. The door opened to reveal a pink-haired woman and a huge man. Hello, Lady Tsunade. This is my partner Nathaniel. For those of you who do not know me, my name is Scarlet. I will accompany you to the consul's office. Please follow me, Scarlet said turning around. Jiraiya could hardly take his eyes off her. She wore a flowing skirt with a flated top. Her breasts were not truly showing as she was in front of them. She had a well-formed figure that spoke of a gypsy fighter. Soon they were at a door with seal on it. Scarlet opened the door to an argument. I think, Lord Consul, that TJIS is the best action. I mean, after all, women shouldn't be in charge of certain positions and this will ensure we have enough money to see that our actions are met, a short fat man said. Behind a large mahogany desk sat a very well-dressed, handsome man. He was slender but well-defined. His piercing green-blue eyes completed his light tan skin and bright silver long hair. He wore the seal of consulate on his right hand. Councilman Sens, I refuse to sign such into law. As the consul, which is for life, I can refuse such, but to make my point clear. Galen turned in his chair, order in hand, and threw it in a brightly burning fire. Sens growled. Clear enough. Now leave and let me do my job. Galen said. Sens stomped past the shinobi and Rania who had come behind. Rania looked at Galen with a grin. Galen walked from behind his desk with a smile on his face. Forgive such a display, but fools never learn. Welcome to the Consulate Imperium. I'm Galen Abuska, Consul of Velos. He said bowing graciously. Tsunade returned the bow. The clan heads bowed as well. Galen leaned against his desk. Rania tells me you were forced out of your home. As a friend, I offer you a home here in Velos. As you know, we have an extensive military network but no shinobi. If you accept this offer, a seat will be granted to you on the council as well as the immunity that comes with it. As such, you would only take missions that you agree upon. From what I've been told, you had an academy for genin to learn TGE shinobi way. If you so want, a place has been made ready for you in the Academia de Velos. Any questions? Galen said. Lord Consul, if we accept this offer, who would be our leader? Hiyashi asked. Galen smiled. Your Hokage of course. I wouldn't try to overstep her authority. Velos needs all kinds of fighters, thinkers, doers. Velos a beacon for the lost. Also, Rania is over all the military so that I can actually do my job without all the paperwork. So, Are you willing to bring the will of fire to Velos or allow it to burn to embers on the wind? Disclaimer applies. Tsunade narrowed her eyes at the consul. How dare he talk about the will of fire like that? She fumed. It was Naruto, however, who spoke. I don't think that anyone here would watch the will of fire die out. We are shinobi. Gigi always told me that the will of fire is fueled by those who believe in it. Naruto said softly. Galen smiled. Forgive me for the rude saying, but I had to be certain. Your body language as well as the killer intent that you are barely hiding tell me that the will of fire burns bright within. However, if you choose to accept my offer, you will need to be trained to fight creatures not found on your old land. I'm sure these young ones are up to the task. Galen said softly. The Konoha 12 perked up. Will we have new census, sir? Hinata asked softly. Galen looked at her. No, your census will remain the same. I will allow you time to discuss these matters. Once you have decided what course of action to take, we will know better of your future. Another matter at hand if you take this offer is the representation of the shinobi in council. One group is allowed one counselor to represent them. The council chambers are located at the end of this street. You will have to choose a member of your party to represent you. Now, I'll give you leave to look at your options. Good day, Galen said, bowing. The shinobi left with the two escorts. Rania closed the door softly behind them. Galen, weren't you a little sharp with that question? I believe in the will of fire too. Rania said, looking at the consul. Galen smiled. Testing them. Hiruzen always says that his shinobi's will of fire is strong. Now I know. Besides, I am sure that they will join us. We need strong people to be the back of this city. Galen mused. Rania shook her head smiling. She looked at Galen with questioning eyes. When do we tell them the secret? I don't know if they will be happy or upset that it was kept from them. Besides, he's eager to see them again. Rania asked softly. Galen looked at the window. Indeed, if Rania hadn't had Hidan and Kakuzu there, things could have turned out differently. Galen thought as he took his seat. Rania sat on the opposite side. You fear that they won't accept and that your enemies will hunt them down, don't you, Rania? Galen asked softly. Rania nodded. I hope they become part of Velos, Galen, not just because of my enemies but those they have made. Iwa will know the son of the Yellow Flash and wouldn't mind killing him or worse. They too hold a hatred against us three, with me being the highest bounty they have ever had. I would have to take action if they harmed Naruto or any others. We need to discuss punishment for the root. Rania said as the two doors slammed open. Lord Consul, the shinobi are being attacked. A guard said. Where? Rania asked, eyes sharp. At the South Gate Road, some weird freakish things. I was told to get help. The guard said. Rania ran past him swiftly. Danik, Scarlet, Trent, come with me. Nathan, find Varen and Villas and get them to the South Gate area now. Rania said, jumping down the stairway. Galen was only a step behind her. Notify all enforcers that there are intruders. I want the Southgate on-duty officers and guards in my office once this is settled. Galen told another guardsman. Yes, Lord Consul. Once they had reached the end of the steps, the party broke out into a dead run, heading to the south. Within minutes, the group led by Rania was there and they couldn't believe their eyes. A monstrous humanoid creature was fighting off Tsunade, Jiraiya, and Sum with long spikes. Similar creatures were attacking Kakashi, Anko, Ibiki, Inochi, Shikaku, Choza, and Hiyashi. Asuma, Guy, Kurenai, and the Genin were facing off Ninja. Ninja from Iwa. Ranya's eyes narrowed. Iwa Nin in Velos. This is not right. Iwa Nin are sensed immediately. Quickly she jumped in to help Kakashi against the humanoid. Danik already fighting the ninja with the others. Rania sensed an evil coming from them. Danik, we have to see what those things really are. They may be liches. Rania shouted. Danik smiled. Of course, Art of Nightmare, revealing light. Danik said. Black auras appeared around the Iowa Nins. Rania grimly smiled. So they've tinkered with dark powers to hide their henges. We need to release it so we can kill them. Rania said. Jiraiya quickly jumped into action. Seal art release. Henge purge. Jiraiya said, slamming his hand into the ground. A dark vapor fizzed from the Iowa Nin to reveal creatures unlike anything the shinobi had seen. Corpse white skin stretched over skeletal bones. Liches. Whatever you do, don't let them through. Rania shouted. The humanoid grabbed Kakashi by the head. Rania quickly reacted. Scarlet, use your ability. These things have to be stopped. Rania quickly jumping over the humanoid's arm, sluicing it off and freeing Kakashi. The humanoid turned its face toward Rania. Out of nowhere, its tongue stuck out towards Rania and Kakashi. Both dodged quickly. Give us a taste, please. We won't kill you slowly. It said. Rania smiled as heat built up. The liches felt it too and were scared of the power. Kaden. Fire purge of evil. Scarlet called out. White and pink flames engulfed the enemies, turning them to ashes. Rania looked over the battlefield. Ashes were everywhere, but the humanoid was still standing. Kill you for this. The humanoid cried, running at Rania, who smiled and ducked, to reveal a large man behind her. The humanoid slammed right into him and whimpered. The humanoid was bleeding from his nose. The large man lifted him up and slammed him into the ground. Rania then gathered up the ashes from some of the liches. The big man smiled as a slender man took the ashes from her. My. What a unique specimen. New lich perhaps. Well, you'll tell soon enough. Varen, I really don't need him alive, but I'm sure the inquestors or enforcers would love to have him. I suggest you stay still, humanoid, or else my brother will ensure you a very nasty demise. As I said, I don't need you alive. Villas said. The humanoid laughed. Kill the consul's guard, kill the consul. Long live Lord Camus. It giggled. Rania's eyes narrowed. Camus is a traitor. Quickly she whirled around to see Galen approach. With him was a large man, easily as big as Jiraiya, who grimaced at the humanoid. Galen walked up to Tsunade. Do you have any injured? Doc is waiting for them if so. I will get to the bottom of this at. Galen was cut off mid-sentence as Neji ran into the gathering. He was covered with dirt. Rania and the others stood attentive. An attack. Guy Sensei is fighting them off. Lee and 10-10 as well as Team 10 are in some sort of trap. I came for help, he said breathlessly. Rania and the older shinobis were already moving. Tsunade was exhausted but angry. Jiraiya too looked like he could rip someone apart. Rania, a few steps ahead, heard the fighting before seeing it. Guy was fighting root nins while Lee and Tenten as well as Choji, Ino, and Shikamaru were staring at nothing. Jiraiya immediately knew that this wasn't a just you. No charka was being felt. Rania jumped into the fray. She quickly swung a right hook towards a nin that tried to attack from behind. Bones cracked, he fell screaming in agony. Rania knew that dark magic was responsible for the trap. I wish Mother was here. She could counter this. Rania thought. Danik, Tsunade, Jiraiya, Asuma, Kakashi were all fighting the root nins. Rania knew that Root would kill for Danzo. Quickly, she dodged a katana swipe at her head. She knew that as long as Root thought they could win, Root would fight. A cry of pain made her head jerk around. Kakashi had taken 4 kunai to the chest and was down. Guy moved to protect his rival, only to be blocked. As Rania watched, a nin swung down at Kakashi, intent on killing, only to have a blade stop him. A golden blade. Thr Root Nin had Kakashi down. One swipe of her blade and he would be legend, but a golden blade stopped hers. The nin looked up into blue-gold eyes that held no fear but held an emotion that terrified the nin. A slender but built man now stood with his blade locked against the root nin's. Fear pulsed through the nin as he felt true fear for the first time. The other man spoke softly. A true warrior does not attack his opponent when his opponent is down. Only scum would do such. Your comrades are defeated, Nin, so surrender or be beaten. I will not hold back. I can feel the fear that the sight of my blade has put into you. You will be easily defeated by that alone. He said. The would-be legend was quaking. That blade has taken out many. I cannot win. I yield to you. My death is yours to command. You dress like Nin but you are not. Why attack us? Tsunade asked. I have failed my master. I failed my mission. I attacked because my master told me that freedom was near if I killed the Nin of Konoha. What is your name? Tsunade asked. The root Nin looked up. She removed her mask to reveal a face that shocked everyone. Kakashi stared in disbelief. Rin! Kakashi exclaimed from his sitting position. Do you know you? The Nin asked. All stared in disbelief. Sum stepped forward. Rin, do you remember me? I'm your Aunt Sum, your mother's sister. Do you remember Kyo? She asked. My master is my father and mother. His will is my life. I am a tool for him. Mind control? Tsunade questioned. Rania shook her head. Vilas, Varen, and Danik had joined them while the questioning was going on. Black magic. It almost like she's a puppet. This was an expert. Vilas said. No, puppets have strings and I think we can show hers. Tsunade, if I may borrow Hiashi. Rania said. Tsunade motioned for the Hyuga elder. Can you tell me if she is being controlled with chakra strings? Rania asked. Hiashi activated his Byakugan. Yes. One line to the head. Remote controlled. How? Why? Tsunade asked. Simple, Tsunade. Rin's death was a hoax to begin with. I suspected as much because Kakashi told us that when Rin died, she said sorry Kakashi. Rin was already being controlled. She may have been part of Root. This chakra line keeps her from accessing her true memories. Rania said, carefully looking over Rin. She motioned for a guard veto take Rin away. The shinobi's minds were in turmoil. Rania walked over to where Kakashi and Team 7 sat. Kakashi said nothing as Rania squatted beside him. His one visible eye held grief. Rania spoke softly. Kashi, Rin can be saved hopefully. What we must do now is fight against those like Rin's master. Naruto, if you will come with me. Rania said. Standing up, Naruto followed Rania until they reached the man that had saved Kakashi. Rania gently laid her hand on Naruto's shoulder. Naruto, I will like to meet Damas and Trisu Uzumaki Namikaze. My mother and father, your uncle and aunt. You may have already heard of my father by another name. I have more family. Naruto said, eyes tearing up. Without warning, Naruto hugged Trice close. Trice returned the hug warmly. Rania's last words caught up with his ears. What other name? Naruto asked. Rania smiled. Why, the king of warriors. Konoha same day. You idiots. You let a great weapon pass through your hands LK. Ike water. No matter, I will deal with this. Danzo said. Do nothing. Your scum have violated a sovereign nation not under your control. The walls will bleed with the blood of those dead for your cause. One of Danzo's root said. Before Danzo could do anything, the root members began to twitch, blood coming for all their orifices. Soon, the Hokage's office wall were covered in blood. Lifeless root lay all around. Who dares? Danzo yelled, unable to protect himself. As he turned to exit, words of blood formed on the walls. One warning is all I give, one warning alone, take heed that your folk deeds will be undone like the rise and set of the sun. Cause harm to me and mine and you shall know pain for all time. Remember the words to this rhyme when you decide. The bloody hellion. Danzo crapped his pants. I am going to clear up some things quickly. Below is a list of 3 my OCs and their abilities. 1. Rania Uzumaki Namikaze, also called Bloody Hellion. I will not reveal the extent of her abilities as it relates to the plot line. Power level. Above Sanin. 2. Danik Santos, Lord of Nightmare. Donok's abilities pertain to anything that considered dark. He was once a counselor's son, but that will be revealed later as well. He can command certain creatures and wields a broadsword. Power level, above Sanin. 3. Galen Abuska Consul of Velos. Galen's skills will be revealed later as it adds to the storyline. He is the leader of Velos and as such his word is law. Power level, above Sanin. The King of Warriors, Naruto said looking at Damas. Damas smiled. I prefer not to be called that. After all, we are family. Damas said. Naruto looked at Damos with tears in his eyes. He had family. Now he had an aunt and uncle, cousins, a brother, and a sister figure in his life. And he had Kakashi Sensei and Iruka Sensei as well as Ero Sensei. Naruto felt happy. But what about Kyuubi? Naruto said. I am an Uzumaki. Our line was trusted with the Kyuubi because of our immense abilities. Your mother was my sister Miko's daughter. Miko held the Kyuubi until her murder. Kushina then carried Q until your birth. Someone killed her to let Kyuubi loose. Minato, your father and Tersa's nephew, sealed him in you because there were no other Uzumakis. A one time there were 6 ninja villages. But enough history for now. We have been looking forward to this for some time. We finally have all our family here together, even though one of your group doesn't know they have Uzu blood. What mean? Naruto said. There is one of your group who is related to you. Always has been but never revealed. Bevouse of those things which hunt us. In order for the Uchiha to keep their eyes can't spell strong, they often had to mix in other clans. Fugaku Uchiha married Makoto Uzumaki to keep this strong. Tersa said. Naruto's eyes went wide. I'm blood to Sasuke. How? Makoto was Kushina's youngest sister. To keep it secret, Fugaku and Minato married here in Velos. Fugaku and Minato both believed that the higher authority in the Uchiha clan would disbar the marriage if they thought that Makoto wasn't a far-off Uchiha relative. Once married, the elders could not disclaim her as it would give them a bad face. Damas said. Naruto looked wide-eyed. Sasuke was going to be happy. He had family. Then that makes Itachi my cousin too. And the coup d'etat part of my family history. Now I suppose I need to talk with Itachi too. Naruto said softly. Damas's face was clear. Like Mist Uzumaki's, Damas was slender, had brown eyes but blonde hair. Tersa was petite and had blue eyes and black hair. She walked up to Naruto. We all have a history in our family that we wished was forgotten. But you must remember lest it happens again. Those who forget the mistakes of the past are doomed to repeat them. I understand about losing a clan. I lost all my clan to war as Damas did. Uzu no Kuni was a hidden village. It had one ally, Konohagakure. When Uzu was being overrun with enemies, Konoha sent aid but it was too late. The traitors had destroyed Uzu. Uzu had an Uzukage, Arashi Uzumaki. He married his daughter to the first Hokage, a Senju. The link was to be forever. The only survivors from Uzu's noble family was Kushina and Makoto Uzumaki, your and Sasuke's mothers. Care to guess whose genin team found them? Tersa finished looking dead at Jiraiya. Jiraiya gulped. Ero Sensei, why didn't you tell me? Does everyone think I'm helpless? Naruto said gesturing with his arms. Rania stepped forward. No one thinks you are helpless, Naruto. The enemies of Uzu would kill any blood to the noble family of Uzu as they fear revenge. Rania said. Naruto still looked hurt. Galen broke in. This conflict was caused by enemies of you and your friends. If they knew you were kin to the Uzukage, the same enemies would stop at nothing to destroy you. I think that your life means more to thighs around you than having you be mad at them. Galen said softly. Naruto looked around then smiled. You're right, Consul. Besides, I understand why it was kept from me but that doesn't mean it doesn't hurt. I have always wanted a family, to know my roots, and now to find so much was hidden from me, it's just overwhelming. The group was quiet for a moment until Sakura spoke up. You have family. Team 7 is a family. We may not be blood, but we stand by each other. That makes us family too. Sakura said, putting her arm around Naruto. Naruto grinned. You're right, Sakura. Who's going to tell Sasuke about our bloodline? Naruto asked. Sakura smiled. We'll do it together. After all, we are friends too. Sakura said, putting her arm around Naruto's shoulders. Naruto beamed. Rania smiled at her cousin until she felt a slight tickle on her neck. Turning around, she saw 4 figures standing at the edge of the battlefield. She smirked. Mother, Naruto was cut using chakra scalpels. CZNU fix him so I can teach him the just you. Rania said, looking at the 4 figures. Tersa nodded and walked over to Naruto. Naruto looked at his aunt. This should do it. There, all fixed. Tersa said. Naruto felt his chakra return. Thanks. I feel so much better. Why's Rania going to talk to? Some of her spies she had in Konoha. She operates a very large information network. She has spies in all the nations, near and far. Tersa replied softly. Naruto looked at them. That's Hidan, Kakuzu, Kisame, and Itachi Uchiha. There. My sister's spies and 2 of the Sandame. She's not stupid. Besides, the saying goes, keep your friends close but your enemies closer. Thankx said from behind the shinobi. Tsunade's face said it all. So if Itachi was fighting for Konoha, what really happened with the coup d'etat? If Itachi was working for Konoha, what happened with the coup d'etat? Naruto's question echoed through the group. All the shinobi turned to Tsunade for answers. Tsunade looked blank. I don't know. Sensei was Hokage then. He must have kept the truth hidden, but why? Tsunade questioned. All eyes turned to where Rania stood with the 4 newcomers. Turning, she and the others joined to group. They tried to kill us. Ino shrieked. Rania lifted an eyebrow at Hidan and Kakuzu. Hidan looked down at his feet and Kakuzu looked away. Well, did you? Thankx asked. It was only an act. We knew that we had to make it look good, so we tried to kill them. If we hadn't, then Pain would have. Kakuzu reasoned. A slender hand smacked them. OWWW. That hurt. The 2 said, looking at a mad Hinata. Hiashi was taken aback. Why? You tried to kill us and steal Naruto from us. Hinata said. Once again, the duo looked away. Before she could continue, Itachi stepped in. It is true they did, but Pain is a harsh, cold human. He would have killed without remorse. I tried to kill you too. Itachi reasoned. Hinata looked away. Naruto spoke. Hinata, they tried but didn't. Leave in the past. Besides, I'm curious as to how my cousin knows them. Naruto said. Rania smiled. Hidan and Kakuzu are 2 of my spy network that I have all over. They were a part of a slave caravan that sold young men to black magic workers. They used them to try to appease spirits that they had angered, as well as sending other beings to kidnap and murder citizens of Gino, a small island kingdom. Trent, Villas, Biha, and myself were sent to stop the killings. They worshipped a creature called Jashin. They tried to kill us several times before we found the lair. Hidan and Kakuzu were still alive and still themselves. In order for them to survive, they had to bond themselves to another person for life. I bonded them to me because I believed that they were still good at heart. When rumors arose of the Red Cloud wearing Pain, I sent these 2 to join him. Their job was to destroy from within. Then Pain decided to go after the Biju. That's when I told them to protect Naruto and others. Rania explained. Naruto looked confused. So, they have been spying on Pain for you? Jiraiya said. Rania nodded. As I have been for you, Jiraiya sensei. Itachi said softly. Jiraiya nodded sagely. Naruto then turned to Itachi. Did you know that we are cousins, too? Your mom and my mom were sisters. Nice. Huh. Naruto told Itachi. Itachi looked amazed. I always thought mother was an Uchiha as father was. No. Rania began. Your mother was Kushina's younger sister. The marriage, as was Minato's and Kushina's, was held here. Witnessed by another shinobi of your village. The Sandaime was the only one in Konoha to know of your mother's heritage besides this person. Rania said. Itachi looked at Naruto with sad eyes. I am sorry, Naruto, had I known of our blood tie, I would have never abandoned your Sasuke. I am truly at fault for all that has befallen you in the past years. Itachi said. Naruto just smiled. Don't worry, you can't change the past. Besides, you've got to explain things to Sasuke, too. Naruto said. Itachi blanched. He must know that I did not kill our parents. Father was aware of the coup d'etat by the elders, so he and I decided to end them. I came back from the execution of my half of the group to find my mother and father dead and Sasuke caught in Genjustice. Before I could release Root showed up and sounded the alarm. Sandaime told me to seek out Jiraiya. The rest you know, Irachi said, eyes locked on Naruto's. I believe you, but Sasuke may take a little more convincing. Naruto said. No, I won't. Itachi has never lied to me, ever. I'm beginning to believe that Root killed our family. Why? Sasuke said from behind. To control us, our bloodline. To breed a new shinobi. Father knew that this would lead to trouble. So Root killed our clan to make themselves more valuable. Besides, Father was helping to clear out the vermin. Mother I never knew until now of her lineage was to meet us with you. I killed my half of the traitors. Father and mother were already dead when I got there. Mother's last wish was written in blood. Take care of Sasuke, Itachi. Itachi said sadly. Sasuke walked up and hugged his brother. Naruto grinned. What about mother's lineage? I thought she was an Uchiha since birth. Sasuke said. Naruto's grin got even bigger. Not exactly, Sasuke. You see, my mom and your mom were sisters. So that makes us cousins. Naruto said. Sasuke's eyes widened. Nani? Quick breakdown. I am going to make Sasuke, Naruto, and Sakura as strong as they are in the series. However, I will be adding some powers to them. Hinata, Ino, Tenten, and Hanabi are going to be stronger than in the series. Already figured out who's going to train who also, a big surprise will be in the coming chappies.